Excuse me.
Big boy. Hey, big boy.
Good morning. Today, I'm buying a light bulb. Why are you buying a light bulb, I hear you ask? Oh, because I got a lamp, no light bulb.
Chunky boy. Hey. Ah! Trying to eat me. Ah! Ooh.
I woke up this morning about 5:30 as I always do, unless I've got to get up earlier. Because I like to ring Jess up about 6 o'clock in the morning, which is 10 o'clock her time. But I was greeted with about 5 puddles of piss, 2 small turds, and just balls everywhere. I don't actually know where they are. Oh, there's some balls here. I bought little Rocky some balls to play with yesterday. He's not that interested. I kind of stood round that door, that corner, and I just rolled the balls into him to like surprise him. And he just looked at them and just run straight under the cabinet.
Why are you scared of these balls? Probably never seen one before, have you? Hey? All he wants to play with just likes eating my ankles.
Eating my ankles or eating his mum.
Good girl.
Oh, there's another piss. I like the routine in the minute. I'm waking up early, feeding the dogs, get myself a drink, do all my medicine stuff because I'm running. I can go into that later today. I can go into that in this video about what I'm trying to do. Because at the minute I'm running a proper PCT / fertility cycle, which is lots of HCG and HMB and Clomid. But I need to get Jess good and pregnant.
Alright.
Right, let's go. How did you get out there? Who opened that? Hey?
Big boy. Hey, big boy. Go on, I'll stay here for a bit though.
Electrician, mate. Got some puppy food. I'll go down a treat, I'm sure. Anyway, I was talking about me fertility protocol. So, obviously I use steroids predominantly when I compete. Now when I don't compete, it's predominantly TRT, which is basically just an excuse to not come off gear. That's me, that's my story. And now it's time to make different gains. I need to make baby gains. I need to gain a small child. It sounds a bit wrong. I'm trying to get Jess pregnant basically. And she does know. So what this entails, I'm not going to go into the full length of it because it's a bit long, but I take 3 grams of HMB, HUMB, which actually stands for hairy man balls. I take half a Clomid pill a day just to control my estrogen, and HCG. I do 1500 HCG every week, which is, you can run it higher to really give my balls a bit of a kickstart, but I'm not with Jess at the minute. I'm not going to see her for about another month, so I don't need to be ready tomorrow. It's a waste of balls. But by the time I get back, I'll be a prime baby making machine, and I still run my HGH. Where are we? Here we are. I run that 5 days a week. So 5 days a week HGH, HCG, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then as I say, the HMB and the Clomid daily. What else do I have? I have this as well. It's got nothing to do with my balls. It's I used to use these a couple of years ago during prep. It just woke me up It's nootropic, so it's more of a, it's instead of coffee basically. I would just prefer this. I have had it a lot times before. I just felt like, you know, I'm not reading it and sort of like just assuming it's making me feel a certain thing. It wakes me up. I do feel a lot more focused and alert in the morning without sort of like, it's different to having a Monster in the morning where you're awake but you also feel like my body's more awake than my brain is, and my body wants to do stuff but my brain isn't in control of it. That's why I'm a little bit, you know, jittery if I have a Monster first thing in the morning. It certainly wakes me up, but it doesn't wake me up. What's the word? It doesn't concentrate my alertness. But that helps me feel a lot more focused in the morning, because I do quite a lot of stuff in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I have a cold shower, feed the dogs, sort my drinks out, do all my medicine stuff, ring Jess, do a bit of work, and then I'm out on the bike, nipping into town. So I'm quite on the go first thing in the morning. Clean up all the piss, clean up all the shit, sweep up the balcony, tidy my room, and that's like within the first 2 hours of me waking up. So I do quite a bit. But as I say, that's really good. Skywalk, I do rate this. Myo blocks. I've been using it on and off for a good five years or so. I'm just going to go through all my supplements now. Raw pre-workout. It wakes me up. Plenty of caffeine. It was cheap and cheerful. I think, how much was it? 950 pesos. So to £12. That was good. It is cheap and cheerful, and I really like the flavour. That's why I got it. And these, I've got two of these. Creatine. It's basically just creatine with electrolytes in it. So 2 scoops of that gives you 5 grams of creatine. Where are we looking? Yeah, 2 scoops give you 5 grams of creatine, but what I do, I'll put like a scoop of that in a 1 litre bottle. Whenever I wake up, as soon as I wake up, I have 1 litre of water, and I kind of just down half of it, sip the rest, with a scoop of this and a scoop of that. Sometimes a little bit of a tang powder, but I try not to, just because there's sugar in it. I try not to have too much sugars first thing in the morning. I also have just standard creatine. So I have at least 15 grams of creatine every day, because all this new data's come out that it helps with your brain function and things like that. And I need all the help I can get with my brain, especially my memory. I think my memory's gotten a bit better recently. Here's me growth, which I'm using predominantly for health benefits, skin, and to aid in retention of muscle volume. Yeah, to be honest, I've been on gear for a long time. Over the past 10 years, I've been on gear longer than I've been off gear. My off, you know, I don't really come off. I just run a really low dose of about a third to a half a mil of test D, so around 100 to 150 milligrams a week, which is probably 70% of the last 10 years. But even when I've run higher dosages for preps, it hasn't been that high. I think my last prep was probably my best luck. All my orals were less than around the 40 milligram. I think my Anavar was about 20 or 50 or 40. No, it would be 40. Winnie was 40. Test was 150 mig. Master 150 mig. Tren was 180 mig per week. So everything's quite low. But I'm super sensitive to Tren, man. It makes me just, you know, some people get rage and get, jealous, paranoid. I just get sad. I went through a phase of being paranoid and jealous, and then just every time I saw Jess within a metre radius of a boy who said hello to her and she said hello back, I was like, who the fuck's this guy? You know? And that's not me. That's not how I usually am. Like, but Tren, kind of more often than not, it makes me feel really down, really depressed. I don't want to say suicidal because I wouldn't go out my way to fucking do anything like that, but I just felt so low, constantly always feel low when I'm on Trent, which I don't use it anymore, and I don't, even if I compete again, fuck Trent, man. It's just, I'm so sensitive to it. I never used to be, but then again, that might not have been the Trent I was using, perhaps, I don't know. You don't know. But long story short, fuck Trent. Even at not even a mil a week, about half a mil a week, too fucking. I'm just sensitive. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing now, trying to provide Jess and myself with a small baby. And then once I've got her pregnant, I'll just fucking smash loads of gear. No, I won't. I quite like the idea of not being. It's been 20 days since I've been on anything now, so it's nearly 3 weeks since my last jab, and my last jab was 120 milligrams of test, and that's what I've been on about 6 weeks prior to that. So that was low anyway. I feel a bit better in myself. I don't feel like I don't know. It's hard to explain. I feel like I'm slowly going back to normal. I just feel like I'm prioritising sort of health, which you can still do when you're on, a low dose of test or even a full cycle. But I quite like this journey, and I'm the sort of person that I get fully focused on the journey, on my goal, and if things aren't going my way towards my goal, and I get really mardy until I achieve my goal. This is something that I need to do myself, for myself, because I ain't getting any younger. I'm 35 this year. I need a kid, and what a waste of the specimen I am to not reproduce and multiply. We're doing a disservice to the world if I wasn't to have a child, because let's face it, the more Brens the better. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm going to have my breakfast because it's 9:45. I've not even had my breakfast yet, and I've been up since 5. I have my breakfast. I might head into town. Need to do a little bit of work. I saw this guy yesterday, and he start again. I was on my scooter yesterday. Well, my cousin's scooter has lent me a scooter. I've got 2 scooters, but I rent them out to people. And I saw this guy. I can't remember how to ride a manual. And I saw this guy on a motorbike. It was a manual bike, like a off-roader. Really nice. It was like black, and it had this really big exhaust on it, and it was nice and loud, but not, obnoxiously loud. And it sounded really nice. And I thought, now I want a big bike. Scooters are fine, they're quick, they're nippy, they're comfy. You just twist and go. You can nip in and out, overtaking, undertaking, whatever. And it's simple. Like, you can, if you're like me and you're a bit of a twat, I like to have a drink in the little cup holder thing. So I'm riding along, quick sip, because it's automatic. You can ride it with one hand, as long as it's safe to do so. And my vape, I like to vape when I'm riding. It's so peaceful, so therapeutic on your bike. So I thought I'll stick with an automatic, but now I've seen that lad's bike, and now I want a manual. So I'm not going to look at buying a new one because it takes ages. It takes up to 2 months before it registers and you can actually legally ride it. So what's the fucking point in that? And also, well, you can save about a third of the price if you buy one that's 2 or 3 years old. And my cousin's good with bikes. Well, I've got a lot of people that are good with bikes. So if anything's wrong with it, I'm confident it can be fixed. So I might look at a bike, I might not. If I do, I will let you know and show you. Thank you. Right. Gonna get some lunch. It's 1 o'clock. It's very bright. It's this food place, this little restaurant. Literally about a 5-minute walk from my house. So I'm gonna have a look. It's pretty cool. It's very native, very Filipino. It's cool because I say it's cool. You sit on the floor and the tables are like really low. I'll show you when I'm there, but it is really cool. It's quite hard to find. It's quite hidden away. Can't remember exactly where it is, but it is here somewhere. Yeah, I've not been here. I come here with Jess about a month or so ago. I've not been here since, and I keep thinking, like, why don't I just go up there? I forget. And I've been walking for about 1 minute, so, well, 1 minute and 27 seconds. It is here somewhere. I know it's very, very close. It's, I'd say 3 stone throws away. As the crow flies, or whatever the thing is. Yeah, I let Rocky out a bit earlier. The thing is, where my house is on like a sloping kind of hill and then a cliff. Well, you know, it will never reach the cliff, but the slope's kind of steep and it's very rocky, and he's still falling over a lot when he stands up or when he sniffs. It's funny when he sneezes, because he sneezes and falls over and does a full-on 360 backwards. It's just quite funny. So the thing is, if he fell when he's on that cliff, he'll just keep going down, and the rocks are quite sharp. So I've got to keep an eye on him for the time being. Fuck me, have I gone the wrong way or what? I turned right when I should have turned left. I just bumped into a couple from Netherlands, asked me where the restaurant was, and I said, mate, it's literally 1 minute that way. I'm only coming up here because I took the wrong turning. So yeah, I'll show you. Here's a pretty cool little spot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Excuse me, that wasn't intentional, but that was delicious. I had some grilled pork, a bottle of Coke, which I don't care what you say, it tastes better from a bottle. I don't know why, but it just does. It tastes a bit sweeter. And a portion of garlic rice, 390, which is, you get about 80 pesos to the pound, so just under a fiver. And that was nice, it was good, it's all fresh. But I always like to leave a little tip. It's quite a big tip actually. Yeah, it was. It's like a 50% tip. Anyway, I don't care. It was nice, I'd paid more for it, so I did. Right. Walking back to the gaff now. The thing is, around this area you have no signal. Or maybe one bar if you're lucky, unless you have Wi-Fi. If you haven't, then you could be walking down the road and all of a sudden you have about, 5 texts and missed calls and everything, because everyone's been trying to contact you whilst you've had no signal. This is what happened then. As soon as I left the restaurant, ping, 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 ping. Mum's called me. Messages off Jess, because it's 2. Usually she gets up around 2ish. Well, saying that, she's meant to be getting up around 2. She's been getting up a bit later. Sometimes it'll be like 4 o'clock before I get a message off her, which is 8 o'clock in the UK. I guess she's still experiencing some form of jet lag. So you can see me better now. You lucky gits. Yeah, so I'm heading back. Got to do a little bit of coaching work. Also, I want to try and help my mum with, basically, obviously we know about booking.com. My mum's got a beach resort and it's really big. I think it's the biggest, I might be wrong in saying this, but the land coverage, I believe, is potentially the biggest on the island. And we're always fully booked. We've got the most rooms, especially on this side of the island, and our occupation is, multiple times more than competition. So it's important that our adverts are correct. Yeah, sorry, I was just talking to someone. Hey, doggo. Yeah, so obviously it's important that the advertising is correct. Now, we're advertised on booking.com, but unknowingly to us, I don't know if that's the word, We didn't know that we're also advertised on Agoda, because apparently what agoda.com does is just take your listing from booking.com and list it on their website. However, there's been some stuff where they've said that we've got like whirlpool bathtubs in the on the balcony or some shit. Like, there's a lot of misinformation on there. Obviously, when people turn up, they end up leaving a bad review, and we always have good reviews. When someone, which I don't blame them, they turn up somewhere, they think they're going to get something and they don't get it, but it's not our fault. And now we're kind of struggling trying to get onto Agoda so that we can say, look, this is our listing, I need to change the description because it's completely fucking wrong, and you're costing us potentially business, and we're getting bad reviews because of what you've done. I've got a phone number for them, just waiting on Mum to ring them, and then I can look at changing the description and maybe tweaking the booking.com one, just to let them know that we have motorbikes available to rent, which is my little enterprise of 2 small scooters. So yeah, I need to sort that out. That'll be a later job, I think. What are you doing?